Hello, my friends. I am in a yam farm. I told you that in my village, we don't have a problem with breakfast when it comes to yams. Look at those yams, man. Very many of them. It's a very big yam farm. Very big yam farm. Look at that. Look at that. A lot of them. So if you are hungry at home, there's no way you can just be hungry and then say you don't have an alternative. You come to the land here and then you take your yams, unachukua nduma, and then you go to eat. Now, as I'm in this land, I'm just wondering that I don't have friends. Totally. Mizinanga mabeshte, bro. And then I keep wondering, is there anybody out there like me? I live a very weird kind of lifestyle. Sometimes I hear people out there say that they have fake friends. And when I look at my life, I don't even have those fake friends. Bro, I don't have friends, totally. And then I keep wondering, what is wrong with me? Is there something really wrong with me? Sometimes I ask myself those questions. It might seem like something very good because sometimes friends can be chaotic. I think maybe at some point someone needs friends to help them in one way or the other. But I don't have friends. In my life, totally, I don't have friends. And I keep wondering, what's wrong? You see, some of you say that you have friends who can connect you to jobs. You have friends who can help you financially. You have friends you can count on when you have a problem, a mental problem. You can just call a friend and then you talk and then you can count on these friends in any way possible. But for my case, I totally don't have one. Totally. I live alone. Is there anybody out there like me who doesn't have friends? Totally. You have no friends. You can't count on anybody. If you find yourself in a problem, it is just you with your problem. Is there anybody like me? Sometimes I keep wondering. Because I have navigated this life alone. Ever since primary school. Because in primary school, I used to spend most of my time alone, just reading. And then I used to come on top of my class almost all the time. Look at those yams, man. Look at those yams. And look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. So I used to spend most of my time reading because I don't have friends I can interact with. And then you find that I come on top of my class. In fact, almost always, I was on top of my class. Almost always. Because by the end of the term, you will hear the teacher say, and number one is none other than Gideon Akali. And number one is none other than. Yeah? Because I used to spend most of my time reading. No playing, no interacting, just in class. No friends, totally. And then when I went to high school, that is when it started dawning on me that I can't even create friends. I used to spend most of my time in class reading. No friends. I never used to engage in many activities. Apart from music, I'm a musician. I used to sing. I used to participate a lot in music festival. But when it comes to creating friends, I never had friends. Now, the worst part was the university. You know, these yams are still very small. They are still coming up. Okay? Now, in the university, that is when now I noticed that there was a problem. Because I could not create friends. Could not create friends totally. I was wondering, you find that guys are in groups, they are working together, they are going to visit each other a lot. But for me, I'm just alone. Alone, totally, no friends. And then I found out that if you cannot create friends in childhood, it becomes a problem to create friends even in adulthood. Right now, I'm an adult. I'm 35 years old right now. I don't have friends. If I have a problem, I have to deal with it. Even this thing I say that I cannot be employed, it's not because I'm too confident of being self-employed. It's because even getting connection, someone connecting me to a job, is difficult. I remember when we completed our university, and then friends were connecting each other to jobs. You know, they call each other, they say, bro, I have found a job for you, kuja huku kuna connection fulani. And then you find I'm just there. I don't have friends, totally. Nobody ever called me and told me there is an opportunity anywhere. Nobody. Because I never created those friends. So if I find myself in a problem, I am just alone. If I have something that an opportunity and I want to succeed in something, it's just me. Look at those yams, bro. Look at those yams. Some of them have matured. Some of them haven't matured very well. You see? Lot of them. If I can zoom. Yeah. So it is a big problem that I've had for quite some time. But also it is a blessing in disguise. Because you find time to sit down and think about your life and then you come up with strategies on how to make money all alone, and you actually don't need people to help you understand how to navigate life. So all my life I've just spent it alone, no friends totally. So I'm out of the land, that YAM land, because I had just gone to inspect one of the lands that I had leased. You know, at home here, people can just give you land to use and plant your own food, and we plant food and then we feel good. So we were on the topic of friends. So after completing university, that is when I realized that I needed friends to actually even walk in towns, connect with each other, and then do many things together. Then you realize that you don't have friends who can connect you to jobs. You don't have friends who can call you sometimes when you are going through a problem. And then you find that you're just alone. And then this thing comes as a disadvantage and as an advantage. The disadvantage is what I have just told you, the very obvious. Sometimes there are people who have opportunities, your friends, they want to connect you, but they call the people who they consider to be close friends. But for you, they cannot call you because you are not a close friend. So after graduating from university, I found myself alone. All alone. That is when I started online work. Nobody should lie to you that I started online work because I loved online work. No. I started online work because I could not find a way to navigate the job market, because you don't have friends who can connect you to jobs in different towns, and then you have to find a way now to survive because you need money to survive. And then when you need money, what do? And you are alone. You are in the house. You have no friends. What do? That is when I started online work. And as I have narrated in my past videos, I started first with writing articles, because even if you are an introvert, and that was the best job for introverts, I wonder how AI came and then just, it's very unfortunate for what AI did to us. But writing articles was one of the best jobs for introverts in the houses to do their thing. So I started that. Then I made good money. Then I found that even without friends, I could make money. That is why some people ask, how do you live in the village? It's because I just love being alone. I don't know if there's anybody out there like me. You just love being yourself. You just love being alone. You have no friends. And it's not because you are stressed that you have no friends. You are just like that and you love living like that. That is how I live. I don't have this stress of nobody's caring about me, that I need somebody to care about me. You know, I need somebody to call and care about me. No. And I'm wondering, am I abnormal? Or is somebody out there like me? And apart from articles now, I started now realizing that we had so many jobs that introverts could do, like academic writing that I used to do. That is another best job for introverts. Any introvert can do that. If you don't like interacting with people out there, if you don't like talking to other people, and you just want to make money in your house, the best thing you can do is to engage in academic writing, because it is just you with your computer and you're making money and you're not going out. You're just by yourself. And those are some of the things that I used to do. And then I said, then I don't need friends. I'm just okay. In primary school, I never had some. In high school, I never created some. In university, I got out without them. And then in life, I have found that now I'm doing a job that doesn't require friends. So I'm just wondering, is there anybody out there who has been experiencing this thing and you don't have friends totally? How have you navigated that? I'm just wondering. And now, this thing trains you to start thinking about other things that don't need friends. You do things that you don't need people. You don't need people totally. Like now, look, this YouTube channel. Ever since I started doing my videos, you can just check me the way I do my videos. I am just alone speaking to the camera. Alone. I don't visit friends like, come to my YouTube channel, let's talk. No. I'm just all alone. And if you have been closely following my videos, you find that I take videos in places where either there are no people or there are very few people. Like, look at this place here. Look at this place. You can't see anybody. There are just two boys there that I met. Two boys that I met, and then I greeted them. And that's all. Then the rest of the journey, walking, I don't see anybody. And I'm just okay. Anybody out there will say that that is abnormal. You are an antisocial. Of course I'm an antisocial. Do I feel lonely? No, I don't feel lonely. And that's actually the weird part about this thing. I don't feel lonely completely. I usually like calling this solitude. Solitude, not loneliness. Because there is no time I have ever felt like I am lonely. I now need people to talk to. I now need someone to call me to share my frustrations. No, if I experience a frustration, I just handle it head on like a man. If I experience success, I celebrate on my own like a man. Na mi wanashangaa bro. Kuna mseka mimi huko nje. Is there anybody out there like me? It's a very weird kind of lifestyle because even birthdays, like I used to celebrate my wife's birthday. I used to celebrate my children's birthday. I still do. My parent, especially when my father has a birthday, I buy him a cake. When my mother, my sisters have birthdays, we buy a cake, we celebrate. But me, during my birthday, I act like I've even forgotten about it. I don't even tell people. Sometimes they are so busy they forget that Gidi has a birthday today. I forget, then I just do my own things. I don't fancy people coming together to celebrate me or anything. I just like doing my own thing in my own space. So sometimes I wonder, is there anybody out there who is like me? That you are just alone. You do your own things. You earn money in quietness. You achieve things in quietness. You face frustrations in quietness. You don't call people to help you reason or anything. You just do your own things. If you are out there like me, please, let's share. Let me feel like there is somebody out there like me, because sometimes I feel like I'm a very unique human being. And I don't consider this a problem, because maybe it would have been a problem kama ningekuwa napigwa na stress. For example, I'm stressed that I don't have friends. I'm very stressed that somebody has not called me. I'm very stressed that people are not celebrating what I have achieved. No. If I achieve something, I don't need anybody to congratulate me. If I fail, I accept it the way it is. I have never been depressed. By the way, I know depression very well because I have been in a healthcare class. I know the symptoms of depression. I know what causes depression. But the funny thing is, I have never been depressed. So I keep wondering, these people who usually get depressed, how do you get depressed? I know depression. I know what causes depression. I'm a clinician, so I understand. But in my life, I have never been depressed that something bad has happened. You see, there's a time, the way I told you that auctioneers came for me, my driver was in my car, and then auctioneers are coming. Then I just let it go. Then I accept it. Then I'm free to share about it. I never felt depressed. Like when I told you that my divorce had happened. I looked at it, then I just said no. I accepted it. Then I even created a video about it. Then I shared. I shared about it. Of course, there are some frustrations that you face because your goals have not been met. But again, you accept the situation the way it is. I have never really been depressed about anything. That I'm now depressed, that something bad has happened. So is there anybody out there like me? Somebody who is just living life like you don't need people around you. You don't care. You work hard, yes. You want to achieve your things, yes. But in quietness. And you always look for strategies to earn by yourself, not because you want somebody to help you or maybe to approve of what you do. Voila. So is there anybody? Please, I would really like to know. Because right now, even as I'm talking to you, I'm looking for multiple ways to earn money. And I'm looking for ways to earn money alone. Alone. That is why I told you I am a trader also. I trade because I know I don't need people to trade. And I still do writing, although we don't have many tasks, but there are customers who still come because there are some complicated things they can't do with AI. I do them, and I do them alone. But those things, I finish them very fast because now AI is advanced. It can do many things within a very short time. Like by 10, I have completed all the things I'm doing. Like now when the idea of creating YouTube videos came, I thought of doing it alone, not with people. That is why you see me on this channel alone. I don't have people. And by the way, look at my videos from way back. It is only me on the channel. Nobody else. Just me. Because I don't have friends who can come and say, let's talk to Gidi. let's share our frustrations, let's celebrate our achievements. No, I don't have them. And so I insist and I still keep asking, is there anybody out there like me? Somebody who is just doing his thing in his own time, at his own pace. He doesn't need approval. He's just doing his thing. And then they tell me, you need to go to town. You need to meet other people. You need to interact. You need to open your social networks. Then I'm just wondering, I have never created networks ever since I was a child. I have always been living like this. I have always won alone. I have lost alone. I celebrate alone. I feel frustrated alone. I do my thing alone. Even the time I bought a car, by the way, let me tell you something. When I bought a car, I just realized that I had some 10,000 US dollars. That is about 1.2 million Kenya shillings. My first car was a Toyota Probox. So, I went to the showroom. I never even knew that I wanted to buy a car because I never knew how much a car cost. Because my dad had no car. Nobody in my immediate family had a car. So we never knew prices of cars. We just used to see people with cars. So I go there, and then they tell me that a Toyota Probox costs 8,000 US dollars. That's just about 900,000 Kenya shillings. And then when you pay insurance and do other costs, it comes to about 1 million Kenya shillings. That's 10,000 US dollars. Then I have that money in the account. Then I buy the car. After buying the car, I realize that I cannot drive it. I realize I cannot drive it. Then I start wondering, how do I get this car home? Then do you know what I did? Which is a very funny thing, a very funny story that I usually share with people. I went to YouTube. Hello, mama. I went to YouTube. Then I started searching how to drive a car. Then I found many videos on how to drive an automatic car. Those videos were explaining how to ignite the car, how to put the gear, how to press the gas pedal, how to do. And then I concentrated for around 5 hours just learning how to drive a car. Then after that, I entered my car and then I drove it home. That was the first time I drove a car. And then when somebody says they have gone to driving school and then they are still struggling to drive a car, then I wonder, how are you struggling to drive a car? I learned how to drive a car on YouTube. And this thing actually many people don't believe. There is no driving school I went to. When I realized that police officers were hard on my neck, because every time I would reach where police officers were standing, then they asked me, where is your driving license? I used to bribe them with maybe 500 or 1,000 Kenya shillings. Then I tell them that I'll get a license. That is when I went to a driving school just to acquire a driving license. So right now I'm licensed. But I drove my car for a very long time without a license, and I learned how to drive a car on YouTube. And that is the same thing that happened with a piano. I know how to play a piano very well, and I learned how to play a piano on YouTube. I just looked at the keys, how to press key C, key E, the chords. Then I knew how to play a piano. Right now I'm the church pianist. And that is the same thing that happened with a motorcycle. Because at home, you can't go everywhere with a car. Like, for example, this place, you can navigate it very well with a motorcycle. So I bought myself a motorcycle. Then it reached a point where I started wondering, how do I drive this? And these things, I acquire them without knowing how to use them. Like the way I told you about a car. I bought a car without knowing how to drive. And then I learned on YouTube. The same case with a piano. I learned on YouTube. Then I became the pianist. The same case with a motorcycle. I went on YouTube. Then, because I had a new motorcycle, I bought it. It was a Honda 150cc. Then it's there. Then I'm wondering, how do I take it home? Then I also go to YouTube. Then I start checking how to ride a motorbike. Then I see you have to ignite it. You have to, all those things. It had an automatic ignition. Then I started riding it. So right now I know how to ride a motorbike through YouTube. I know how to drive a car through YouTube. I know how to play a piano through YouTube. I learned academic writing through YouTube. I learned article writing through YouTube. And I learned a lot of things. That is why I love YouTube a lot. These tutorials that people keep ignoring on YouTube, they can come in handy when you are an introvert like me. You don't have friends to help you with anything. Just go to YouTube and type how to do something. Like, for example, you want to do an online job. I have told people we have so many online jobs. Just go to YouTube and then Google how to do this, how to do that. You will get a lot of lessons on how to do things. And there are so many selfless people who have come on YouTube to help people learn how to do things. A lot of them actually. If you come to YouTube and then you want to learn how to do something, you can find a tutorial, in fact, with timestamps. You find with chapters. Somebody will teach you how to do something for free. You just have to go there and watch a video. You want to do, even if you want to do YouTube, how to open a YouTube channel, just Google there. How to open a YouTube channel. You will get a video that will give you a step-by-step process on how to do it. Stop asking people, how do I start writing? Just Google there. How to do copywriting. You'll get how to do it. If you want any freelance job, just go there and say what freelance jobs are available even with AI. You will get them. And then you'll start learning how to do it. Like now trading. I tell people I trade. And then some people start wondering, how did I learn? I did not pay those boys who are in town telling people that they teach people how to trade. Just go to YouTube and just type how to trade. You will get a lot of lessons on how to do those things. That is how I have lived this life without friends. Without YouTube, I don't know how I would have managed. I don't know how I would have navigated this, but YouTube has helped me a lot. And that is why I even started creating these simple videos on YouTube, because I asked YouTube how to do content that doesn't waste my time and money. And then I found a lot of people who do this kind of videos that I do, that even if one person watches, you have not spent money and a lot of effort to just talk to the camera walking. And so you don't feel like you've wasted a lot of time and money. You see, the kind of videos I used to do required a lot of time, effort, and money. And they were never bringing in a lot of money. You go to town, you do a review of town. It was time consuming and it needed a lot of money. But when I started doing these vlogs where you just talk to the camera, within a short time you've edited a video, it has gone. No time and effort is needed. So even if nobody watches, you are just okay. But people are not impressed to watch videos like this. That is why I'm not surprised they don't get a lot of views. And I'm not surprised. But I don't waste a lot of time making them, you see. So YouTube will help you learn how to do things, how to save time, and how to make money even in quietness. So that is how you can navigate life without friends. But one thing I keep wondering is when people out there start saying that, you know, there are friends who don't care about me. There are people who don't care about me. You know, you are always concerned about people who don't care about you. And I keep wondering, bro, is there any benefit of having a lot of people care about you? Because I've never had a lot of people care about me. Never. Even in school, as I have told you, I've never had a lot of friends just caring about me. Which friends, even if I'm sick, by the way, sometimes I used to get sick when I was in school. And you find that nobody's coming to see me. You find that I'm just alone. Nobody's coming to see me. So the disadvantage of having no friends is that you have to deal with very unfortunate situations alone. Like when my business failed, I realized it is because I did not have friends. Trusting friends who can tell me that this and this will happen, this and this person did this to you. No, I did not have them. I realized it after I had involved the DCIs to investigate. Then I told those DCIs, don't arrest those boys, because I understand they have life frustrations. Just let them be. You see, so you don't have people to help you understand things here and there. But when it just comes to earning money and just living a quiet life, you can actually live a very quiet life. But what I'm wondering is there anybody out there like me? Because I have never seen anybody like me out there. You go to primary school, no friends. You go to high school, you create no friends. You go to university, you create no friends. And then after university, you find ways to earn alone without friends. And then you marry, and then divorce happens. You are just without friends, no social support. You're just there, dealing with things alone. You succeed alone in quietness, it's okay. You fail in quietness, it's okay. You make money, you are okay in quietness. You lose money, you are okay alone in quietness. And I love living in the village. I've never seen graduates in the village. In fact, I'm the only graduate in the village just living alone. The only one. And then they look at you like you have failed. They don't think that there are other alternative ways you can earn. No. They look at you like you have failed because you are alone. You are just alone doing your own things. is there anybody out there like me? Because where I come from, I am alone. I have never seen anybody else do that. And so I've just been greeting my teacher there. And I just want anybody out there to help me understand. How do you handle life without friends? How do you achieve things without friends? How do you manage to lose things without friends and then just be okay with it? And then how do you manage to avoid depression? Because I have never had any mental issues related to loss or frustration. And then when I achieve something big, it doesn't even excite me a lot. I'm just alone, because who do you tell that you have achieved? Sometimes I like sharing on social media because maybe that is where I can connect with the people. But anybody physically, we can meet and then say that I have achieved this and that, you know, and then we have to pop champagne, then celebrate. So nobody. So guys, help me understand that thing, because I don't know if there's anybody out there who also has this similar experience. And if there is somebody out there, maybe you can connect and help each other understand how you are navigating your own solitude. I said it is not loneliness. Loneliness is something very different. But solitude is a state where you just like being alone, doing your own things in quietness. And actually it helps you think better. Because when you are alone and you find that you have no friends, in school I told you that I used to top the class. So that means that you read a lot. You say, I want to pass exams. And you find that you are coming on top of the class all the time. And then in life, I have realized that a lot of noise can also distract you from thinking of how to succeed. If you are alone and you sit alone, you can never miss ways on how to make money. There are ways to make money, a lot of them. But because we have a lot of noise here and there, when you walk in noise, a lot of people give you a lot of opinions. You may never realize that such ways exist. But when you are in quietness, you are in your room, you lock yourself up, and then you start thinking, how do I deal with this? I am assuring you, you will find a way to deal with that thing. So, guys, that is what I was just wondering. Today, I woke up, I showed you my YAM farm and other people that have leased land there, to just show you that we don't have hunger here. The only problem that we have is money. And then if you can get some little money, you don't buy food. You maybe just buy things that you may need, like oil. But these other foods, no. We have them. So that is it, guys. Thank you for listening to me. This is Gidia Kali, and we shall meet again in another video. Peace.